Soft, cozy and available in every flavor, cookies are the ultimate comfort food. Just the egg you need to start your day.
We usually associate them with New York or Los Angeles, but in Stockholm we've discovered a hidden gem. A place where cookies are the real stars. We woke up craving cookies. Let's go to a place that has all kinds of them. Welcome to Krumel.
Kaja is the founder and owner of Krumel, originally from Germany. After living in several cities including Paris and New York, she moved to Stockholm 5 years ago and fell in love with the city.
It was here that she decided to fully dedicate herself to her passion for cooking by opening her own bakery business, but soon realized that there was something missing in Stockholm.
But then I figured, well, I always really loved cookies, and in every city where I lived, there was always a nice cookie shop or a bakery that had really nice cookies. So I figured that maybe that's a good idea for Stockholm.
Well done, Kaja. Really great idea. But the way it all started was quite unusual.
So I was like, why not start doing that from home during Corona? Because for cookies, you don't need so much investment from the beginning. You can use your home oven, you can use your home KitchenAid or whatever machine you have. And then you can sell it from your apartment, basically. So I figured in two parts that this is a good way to just start something, get started, see how it works, and not have too much investment, but also to do something that I really love, which is experimenting with flavors, making cookies, and just create something that I really, really love.
But let's focus on the real stars here, the cookies. Every cookie at Krumel has its own personality. What sets Krumel apart is the variety on offer. Textures, flavors, combinations, and fillings that surprise you.
Now let's dive into cookie nerd territory, our favorite zone. So, what makes the perfect cookie?
But I would say the base thing is the texture of the cookie, of course. So that it's soft inside, not cakey, that it's really like gooey. The chocolate is melty, when the cookie is still warm, and that the edges are a little bit crunchy and crispy. And then I think also the sugar is a big factor, that it's not too sweet, that there's a little bit of salt in there, and also that you have some nice other textures, so like chocolate bites or nuts or something that makes it interesting to bite into the cookie.
Are you ready to learn how to make the perfect cookie dough? Spoiler, it's not just about throwing everything into a bowl and hoping for the best. There are several things you need to pay attention to if you want to avoid problems during baking.
And of course, we start with the key ingredients, butter and sugar.
We usually start with taking that butter out earlier. Now it's quite hard still, so we will need to mix it a bit more. That's the nice challenges of baking in Swedish winter. Things take forever. So yeah, we usually start with mixing the butter for a little while until it gets soft. There's so many different recipes. There's one very famous cookie recipe, and he writes that your butter should be like mayonnaise. And for me, that's already too soft, because then I'm having problems with the next steps. The thing is, you want the butter to be soft so the sugar and the butter can get incorporated properly. If it's too cold, you will never get it, because you want the sugar to melt a little bit in the butter. So if it's too hard, you will not get that. But it's still very, very hard, so this will take a bit of time. And in summer, we have the exact opposite problem. And I'm gonna add the vanilla now. So we use vanilla powder for this, and for the vanilla cream that goes in later, we use vanilla beans. But now you can see like the butter is getting much softer than what it was before. It's still not soft enough, but it's much better than what we started with, which is nice. It's a lot of waiting. And then here I have the white sugar and the brown sugar below. If you bite into a cookie and you really can feel the sugar between your teeth, like that's when you didn't mix it enough, or also if the butter runs out of the cookie and then it gets very greasy in a way, that's also because the two don't hold together. That's things I pay attention to. Probably no one thinks about that when eating a cookie, but to me that's quite important. So you can see a little bit already maybe that it's getting a bit lighter, like the dough, but you can still see quite a bit of sugar, and I can feel it a lot too. So I wanna go a bit more.
Next, the eggs make their entrance.
Yeah, and then we add the eggs. And this part, you want the eggs to basically look like scrambled eggs. So not fully incorporated, but just enough. My God, I'm giving you all my secrets. It's not the world's biggest science, but it is important to get the textures right and the timings and everything. I'm almost afraid that I undermixed the sugar and the butter now a bit, but I hope Kim will forgive me.
Time for the flours, which should be added gradually.
This one has some rye flour, the wheat flour is below. We have some baking powder, some baking soda, and some salt. I always put salt into my cookies because, yeah, you want that nice balance between sweet and just a little bit of a salty touch. And then I add it in steps to the dough because you don't want any gluten to form here.
And then comes the moment for customization, depending on the type of cookie you want to create.
And then when it's almost readily mixed, I add the chopped white chocolate. So the creme brulee cookie also has a little bit of white chocolate in it. Yeah, and that's it. And then we're gonna take out the whole thing on the shelf, and then we basically roll them into balls. But this is like the ready-made dough with some chocolate pieces in it, some vanilla, and we weigh every ball actually by hand. Every cookie has different weights depending on if it's filled or if it's not filled. So this one we will fill with the vanilla cream later. But yeah, we roll them all by hand, so it takes some time to make them. So yeah, that's the ready-made dough.
Now that you know the basics, get ready, because we're about to take a visual tour that will make you want to turn on the oven. Let yourselves be inspired and try it at home, perhaps with the combinations you prefer.
Let's start with the creme brulee one, with the dough we've already seen.
Which is one of our best sellers, or I would say even the best seller. I wanted to create a cookie where people connect the cookie to something that they already know. So, I mean, everyone knows a crème brûlée. If you like it or not, that's your taste. But at least it's something that everyone connects to something, to a memory, to an experience, maybe to a trip to France. So I really wanted to put that into a cookie. And I also felt that I wanted something to happen in that cookie. So when you break it open, you have like a sugar layer on top. So it's sugar that we put on top just after baking that we burn. So when you open it, you have that cracking of the cookie. And then inside, you have vanilla cream fillings. And you open that cookie and then you have that crack from the top and then the really nice creamy vanilla custard in the middle. That cookie is a secret how we make it, but I think if you're an advanced baker or a pastry chef, you know how to get the pastry cream into the cookie.
At Krumel there are always seasonal options, like the Semla cookie. For those who don't know, the Semla is Sweden's traditional carnival dessert, and here they've turned it into a cookie.
I took again the base of the creme brulee cookie, used the vanilla cream in the middle, and then we also make our own almond paste that we pipe into the cookies. And then we add cardamom to the dough, which is also in the dough of a semla. We add some almond pieces into the dough, so you have a bit of that crunch. And then we roll the dough ball in almond slices. So basically, yeah, you have everything that a semla has, but in a cookie. And then if you eat it at the shop, we always serve it with whipped cream as well, because it's just a nice extra. But you don't really need it, but it looks nice as well. And yeah, people like whipped cream.
Of course, we haven't finished with original and creative flavors. But when we think of a cookie, the first thing that comes to mind is definitely chocolate. And there's no way we could miss a version of that here.
That was one of the cookies I started first. That one is a basic cookie dough where you add some chocolate in the end. We use a really nice chocolate from a Danish producer called Choco, which is like really fruity, almost tastes a bit cherry-like, I would say. Someone even thought it was raisins because it has this like flavor. And then we put some sea salt on top. So we really wanted to create a chocolate chip cookie that's like a classic one, but a bit different, or like our take on it. So we bake it in a little ring, which is like a crumpet ring. And so the cookie gets a little bit of higher edges. By that, it also gets a bit more thicker and a bit more gooey inside. Yeah, it really is like the signature look of that cookie, I would say.
If you still haven't had enough, here's one more for you. A new, more exotic addition, miso and banana.
So it's a bit like the creme brulee. It's miso in the dough, it's milk chocolate in the dough, and then it has a banana custard filling, rolled in sesame, and then we brulee a little slice of banana. So it gets crackly as well. Put it on top. Then you get the nice texture as well.
It's fascinating to see how at Krumel, cookies take on so many different shapes and identities. From filled to thick, crunchy, vegan and fruity, there's truly something for every taste.
It's important to, in one sense, keep the flavors diverse so that people don't get tired of it, but also that you kind of look at the cookies and you're like, ooh, I want to try it all. And you feel that they all speak to you in a way.
So let's try them all. Okay, maybe not all, or we'll roll home and we're already pretty close.
Kaja has shown us that sometimes all it takes is following what you love, even if it seems crazy, to create something beautiful.
She believed in her project, rolled up her sleeves, and today she has multiple shops in the city and an army of cookie lovers behind her. And we are definitely among them.